Have you ever had the feeling that something was trying to reach you? Through a repeated number you see on the clock, through a random song that gave you just the exact word you needed to hear, through the intuition to call someone, then suddenly time stops. This is your higher self that is always communicating with you. The higher self isn't some faraway mystical being. It's the purest, most original part of yourself. It's connected to the totality of every single life that you are experiencing. It lives in the full abundance of having everything and needing nothing, because it knows it all already exists. And it's constantly trying to get these higher messages full of high vibrations to you. It's been doing it your whole life. Now you have the opportunity to see. The higher self is the part of you that remembers why you came here. It's been communicating with you always. Even if you don't listen, it's still always there. Once you start to tune in to life, you start to notice the patterns and see the signs, then you start to align with a timeline where you are integrated, living as your higher self, connected to your higher self deeply in your being. Like this video and share it with someone, and leave a comment saying, "I'm listening," because this indicates to your higher self that you're present and ready to reconnect to your true power. Let me know with a comment, what is the most clear sign the higher self has ever given you? Has there ever been a sign that you just kept rejecting or kept missing, half on purpose and half just because you were not wanting to maybe know it deep down, or you were too distracted? Let me know with a comment and share it for others so that they can have proof and other examples to learn from. Some ways that the higher self communicates to you directly are through sudden intuitions you get, and then they come true. And you get that deep feeling within yourself with sudden clarity because you're starting to put together all of the signs. It can also be through emotions, feelings. Deep down you know it's not random, but your mind takes it and brushes it off. The higher self also has full power to connect you to dreams where it wants you to see certain lives. It can communicate through these dreams. It can communicate through repeated numbers that you see on the clock, that you see anywhere in this life. All numbers hold information, and the universe, your higher self, communicates to you through these instances, through these aspects of life. Some of the reasons you miss these signs have to do with fear, mental blockages, societal conditioning, cultural conditioning, where you're taught to think it's just a coincidence and forget about it, blow it off, brush it off. Each moment that happens is actually you missing your chance to shift multiple timelines in one instance. If you want to further shift your life now and reach your higher timeline and expand to higher knowledge, full abundance, and let go of any limitation, contact me through the email in the description of this video for a one-on-one session, and I will take you directly to the higher self, remove any entity attachment that is blocking you, and get you past any limiting program. The higher self can also communicate to you through physical sensations. If you start to feel a sudden urge or a shaking, something tremble, but not in a fear, but in a recognition, something that you're just not quite sure about, but you know it's powerful. That's your higher self, awakening you deeper within yourself in that moment, expanding you within your heart center, within the heart chakra, where the source of all life is connected to your body. Through all your chakras, all the alignment occurs. The more you align these signs, the more you pick up the signs, the more you understand how the higher self communicates, the more you open your chakras, the more you feel energy, and the more you sense the empowerment that's always being sent to you from your higher self. The more you start to become that true self, which is the higher self. If I was to give you a useful, practical example of how to see this or feel this, it would be, imagine you're spending 1 hour looking at things on your phone about the heart chakra, about pure love, unconditional love. Then suddenly you walk out in the street and you see a sign, art, anything that has the heart, that has any symbolism of love, showing you a heart. That energy, it's speaking back to you because your reality is constantly speaking back to you through these synchronicities. That is what the higher self curates. There's usually a point in everyone's life where the signs stop being subtle. This is very normal, and this has to do with the fact that deeply, intuitively, your soul is tired of living the same old, pointless, mundane, disconnected life. So your higher self starts to make things very obvious. Now, if you've ever had that experience where things just completely change for you, where you start to not be able to live how you used to, Feel free to share in a comment and know that you are not alone in that feeling. That is the natural evolution of humanity. That is your spiritual enhancement, refinement, and evolution. It is bringing you into the truth of the universe, into the truth of God, the truth that your higher self is always here showing you through no limitation, through the boundless appearances of this space, of which you only see 1% of with your physical eyes. So connect with your third eye, open your third eye, then you'll start to see things closely to how the higher self actually perceives this realm. The higher self never stops communicating with you. It's not waiting for the perfect moment. It's not subjected to human conceptual time. Any concept you hold is only a limitation. Drop it and learn to pick up the higher knowledge, higher energy that the higher self sends you. Because what that is something you put in place before you entered this life that you agreed to, that would show in certain moments that give you opportunities to shift timelines, because you're here to shift, integrate, evolve, transcend, heal, expand, and manifest. But how can you manifest if you're constantly distracted or disconnected or overstimulated, or your attention or focus are always put in another place or space or time? So get out of these constricted ways of living and start being one with the higher self. You can also speak directly to the universe and the higher self, which are the same thing, and say, give me a sign in the next few minutes or few hours. And in that moment, you send the universe an image, a memory, an important energy, something that will stand out, and watch how it comes back to you in a multiplicity of ways. Each time you get that confirmation, you're reconnecting to your source. Another great thing you can do is write down whenever you have certain senses, certain intuitions. Each intuition is leading you somewhere. It's the higher self communicating to you directly to wake up, to read the energy, to see the nature, the universal nature and the nature of the earth and how it's all one. And the higher self has put it there for you to connect the dots and stop living a life in an illusion and start living a life that is your highest dream possible. One immediate practice I can give you to reconnect is start to go for walks in nature. Start being more silent, more peaceful, more in presence with yourself. Stop externalizing yourself and start internalizing yourself. Then you'll have the spaciousness and the observation within yourself to pick up on these signs. Also, the trauma you experienced in your life as a child can deeply disconnect you from these deeper intuitions. So each intuition you can reach through each trauma pattern, memory that you transcend, that you dissolve, that you awaken and heal. The higher self sent you this video, sent you this energy showing itself to you right now, so that you have the opportunity to see that you can heal and that there is no such thing as a coincidence, that it's all taking you somewhere to freedom. Another way you seemingly miss the higher self is through external control systems. Each system was put in place to slow you down. Overstimulation within the simulation. You're going to be already strained and drained to the point where you're not even going to have enough energy to pick up these signs. That's their goal, the matrix. But the higher self and myself and your true self in oneness are here to bring you away from that systematic approach, to break you down and put you in the fragmentation to where you're debilitated and not living a holistic, empowered life. Now you're here to remove that strife and reach your higher life, to connect fully to the higher self that is beyond and within every universe. If you have witnessed how this world has changed, how your perception of life has changed, how things in the reality that we used to know don't make sense anymore, how things about celebrities or people or society, the construct, the system, are and is falling apart, then that is not random. You are in sync with the collective. The higher self is bringing the collective closer through the dissolution of the deception. You will start to live a life where you experience the full openness of infinite possibilities. Honestly, I feel if you made it to this channel, then there's probably no way that you're still thinking anything here is a coincidence. You must be on to something, because this is a very present, open, powerful space we have here, where we speak about any subject that brings a being closer to truth, where we take down the matrix, where we get past the simulation that lives within your own mind that has you living dead. It's time to live fully alive. It's time to thrive. Do you think your higher self wants you to live as a servant to a system that treats you like a tool, that wants you to be stuck in a karmic loop of reincarnation? It's time for humanity to wake up. I wonder how many of you truly realize what's going on a universal level right now. Are you choosing to wake up to truth? Are you choosing to reconnect to your higher self and shift into your higher timeline? Are you ready to live a spiritual life or a disconnected, limited life? The pure life of abundance is here within you. The higher self is presenting it to you through this video. This video is brought to you by the higher self because it wants you to understand you are not alone here. You are not some individual person. You are not your mind. You're not your memories. You're something much higher that is beyond time itself. The sooner you start to drop all of the labels and false ideas the world gave you, you're going to start to look at this and think, what am I doing here? You're going to start to think, wow, what is even happening? You're constantly noticing signs. There must be something greater. There must be something very powerful within you. You're connected to it if you're seeing this. Don't you get it? Are you able to understand it, or do you need more time? Because if you need more time, it's infinite. It's very limited. It's dense. It's in a third dimension, primarily. But you can stay there as long as you want to hold on to doubt. But if you're ready for the truth, then you'll start to utilize what I'm about to tell you, which is there are millions and billions of possibilities for worlds, realms, lives. Yet you're here experiencing this in whatever human body or whatever kind of physical vessel you are. Maybe not everyone watching this is human. We're really expanding your mind into something higher. However, then you'll start to look at all of this and think, all of the infinite possibilities of the appearances that I could be witnessing, yet I'm seeing this video, this man here talking about the divine, the higher self. What does that mean? You could be putting your attention into anything. It is a very outdated, materialistic, superficial, manipulative matrix, yet your focus is going to something more powerful. That is not accidental. That is not an accident. That is divine alignment.